Thanks for clicking on the video. Hit the subscribe button for more weekly content and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. It's about time for the rematch of the century. Fingers crossed for Leomon, y'all. What's good, peeps? What's poppin'? How are you doing? Welcome to part 7 of our ongoing series, What If Jeri Joined Since the Beginning. In today's video, we finally return to the 3rd season of Digimon and continue with our hero's adventure in the digital world. Of course, things aren't how we're used to since the events of the story have changed significantly since Jeri joined the crew since day 1. Please review parts 1 through 6 because it's been a hot minute in between parts and a little refresher is vastly needed. If you're ready to get into it, look no further. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much longer, but if you guys are interested in what if videos involving other anime, let me know. I don't plan on stopping with Digimon, of course, but I'm just curious on other content you guys would be interested in. Now to get back to what you guys been waiting for. If the video receives 25 likes, that'll let me know you want things to continue into part 8. Let's begin. In a mixture of pure awe and utter terror, the Tamers couldn't take their eyes off of the creature in front of them. Is that really Itmon? Being equally as terrified as the others, Riko's the only one to pull out her detector to confirm.
Beelzemon! Demon Lord Digimon! What? No way!
What is it, Rika?
That thing's at the Mega level! He's a Mega Digimon! That's insane!
But it's all true. The being standing high above them was leagues stronger than anything they come across, including the Devas. Beelzemon just stood there, taking in his new look, and silently coming to grips with this sudden increase in power, all while never changing the expression on his face. The silence was only broken by the uproarious laughter coming from the monkey Deva.
I wish you humans could see the looks on your pathetic faces! This is but a taste of the power of our almighty sovereign! I never thought this little shrimp would amount to much, but who knew? Now that power belongs to us! Beelzemon! Finish off these wretched insects!
Makoromon capped his taunting with more maniacal laughter, all while the Tamers flinched at what could be their end. All they heard was the intense digital world wind raging around them. They looked up and saw the Demon Lord in the same position as before. Makoromon's command fell on deaf ears, with Beelzemon inspecting his new shotgun. The monkey was definitely not happy about that.
What are you doing, you brainless moron? I said to finish them off!
More silence.
Just who do you think you are? I am Makoromon, second only to the Digimon sovereigns. Know your place, you incompetent buffoon, and do as I say!
Makoromon's rant was cut short by Beelzemon's massive claw clamping down on the monkey's face. His panic muffles intensified as the Mega Digimon slowly lifted him, not even averting his gaze from his weapon. That changed when Beelzemon then spitefully looked towards the trapped Deva, and with one forceful squeeze, crushed the monkey Deva until it was nothing but data scattering around the digital plane. That's right, Beelzemon didn't even bother to absorb his data. Not out of some self-righteous creed, but out of the sheer fact that he didn't need to. Beelzemon lowered his arm and looked towards the last bits of visible data scattering. For too long, he then turned towards Katoromon, calmly walking over to the surviving Deva, scooping up Calamon along the way.
Let's go, Poochie,
he said, walking past the blue dog. Katoromon was sensible enough not to provoke Beelzemon, unlike his fool of a partner, but even he shuddered at the power Beelzemon wielded. But he didn't dare question the will or actions of the Sovereign. This newcomer will prove most useful in executing their ultimate goal. It took a few more moments, but the Tamers finally regained most of their senses. Thanks to Itmon's new power, the Devas now have control of Calamon, but the kids knew they couldn't stand by and do nothing. Jeri was the one to call out,
Itmon!
Her voice was deafened by the sound of a shotgun blast, creating a massive crater in the ground next to the group. Turning her head from the crater back to Beelzemon, she saw his smoking gun and 3 piercing red eyes looking directly into hers. Still no words being said. After all was said and done, Katoromon, Beelzemon, and Calamon vanished out of sight from the Tamers who stood there frozen, terrified, but above all else, hopeless. Eventually they all make it back to the Chuchidarumon village, but there is a lingering air of defeat, despite no real battle taking place. By the looks of things, Itmon, or rather, Beelzemon, turned on them in the pursuit of power, and what power it was. They still couldn't believe he was able to reach the Mega level. So what are we gonna do now?
What can we do? You saw what he did to Makoromon. None of our Digimon have that kind of power.
Not only that, but the Devas now have Calamon for who knows what.
So what? Should we just turn back and give up on the whole reason we came here? Open your eyes, Gogglehead! Even those Devas are scared of Beelzemon. And just look at the hole in the ground. That was clearly a warning for us and not to get in his way.
Jeri was silently contemplating what just went down, but Rika's words sparked something in her mind. Was that really what Beelzebub was trying to say?
No,
She started.
I don't think that's what Beelzebub was telling us.
What else could it have been, Jeri?
Itmon had his own way of communicating his feelings. It was more often through actions than words. Probably because no one really listened to what he had to say before.
Henry nodded his head after realizing Jeri had a point.
I think you're right.
I mean, why else would he challenge Grableomon knowing he had no chance of winning?
Then what do you think Beelzebub was trying to tell us this time?
The expression on Jeri's face turned uncharacteristically serious and forthright.
It was a challenge, mainly towards the Letmon and me. Beelzebub wants to prove just how strong he's become, not for the sake of the Devas or the Digimon Sovereign, but for himself.
That was crazy. They all just saw how insanely powerful this new Digimon is. If Grableomon fought him again, chances are he'd end up just like Makoromon. They all tried to talk Jeri out of doing it, but they couldn't shake her conviction. If they were to rescue Itmon and Calamon now, getting through Beelzebub is the only way. It was incredibly risky, but they had no other alternative. Deep down, they knew Itmon didn't betray them out of ill intent, though he's still struggling with his own inner demons. The little guy did it to save Jeri, despite their fears and reservations. They couldn't return home empty-handed. They had a job to do, and planned on seeing it to the end. Time for some meta changes. In the original story, Rika wasn't with the gang during the incident in the Chuchidarimon village, but was instead dealing with the shenanigans of Kazuo and Kenta, including their interaction with Ryo and Cyberdramon. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I think Ryo sucks, and he did little to nothing for the story. So to be frank, I'm not even going to include him. Please let me know if you think that's a good or a bad decision for this and future Digimon Tamers What Ifs, because if I could just get rid of him altogether, I would. That being said, Kazuo and Kenta's escapades were more or less filler, along with everyone coming and going throughout different digital streams. Let's just say that in their search for Itmon, all of that happens as per usual, and the following continues to happen. Kazuo gets partnered with Gardramon, the Tamers meet Shibumi and learn more about the origins of Digimon, and Suzy is summoned to the digital world with Lotmon as her partner. That brings us to a critical point in time involving a brutal fight with Beelzebub. Let's set the stage. At the stage, the Tamers are split up with Rika, Jeri, Kazuo, and Kenta being one group, while Takato, Henry, and Suzy are in the other. The original had Guillemon being separated from Takato due to a combination of Juggernaut and a previous encounter with Beelzebub. That doesn't happen this time, but let's see if that makes any difference. In an undisclosed location, Beelzebub is standing around what appears to be the throne room or the inner chamber of the Digimon Sovereign of the South, Shuchaomon. He stands there silently, with his only company being the haughty Sovereign and the talkative Calamon. Despite being a mega level with terrifying power, Calamon still treated him like Itmon. Beelzebub didn't respond in any way, but it was better than blowing up on the juvenile Digimon. Neither of them wanted to be in that situation, so it's better to let him have what little fun he can. From the top of the chamber, a loud voice echoed throughout.
I can't believe those despicable humans have set foot in my domain.
This got the demon Digimon's attention, opening his eyes to the Sovereign's words.
They've soiled the digital world with their putrid presence long enough. Katuramon, get rid of them once and for all. Then there will be no one to stop our conquest of both worlds.
The dog Deva appeared from the shadows to heed the command of his master, but was halted by the sound of Beelzebub's boots advancing towards the exit.
Cease this at once. Did you not hear Lord Yuchalmon? I will be the one who will dispose of those human children.
Beelzebub kept going until he reached the door, then responded,
Don't kid yourself, Poochie. Lead this to a real Digimon, alright? Why don't you go play with the ball or something?
Such insolence. It wasn't so long ago that this uppity newbie was a wretched weakling at the bottom of the totem pole. Now he thinks he's able to blatantly defy direct orders from the Digimon Sovereign. Katuramon might be the weaker one now, but he was not going to take blatant disrespect. Baring his fangs, the blue dog lunged at Beelzebub. It wasn't even half a second before a commanding "Stop!" from Yuchalmon boomed throughout the chamber. Katuramon halted, but was awkwardly looking down the barrel of Beelzebub's weapon.
Beelzebub, I'll permit you to go with Katuramon's stead, just so long as you know the consequences of failing me. Yeah,
he said, reholstering the shotgun, and continued his way out of the palace. The dog Dave remained frozen in place, shuddering in a mix of fear and anger at his own powerlessness. A few moments later, after knowing Beelzebub was out of earshot, Yuchalmon gave the order for Katuramon to follow him. He certainly didn't trust Beelzebub, and Katuramon was all too happy to oblige.
Yes, master.
Back in the desert, Takato's group continued to follow Beelzebub's scent that Guillemon was able to pick up on. Latmon, having been a former Deva, recognized the area and urged the group to leave out of fear of Zuchaomon. In spite of her fears, the group pressed on, prepared for any danger they might face. Or so they thought. Guillimon's feral instincts flared like crazy. Beelzemon's scent was getting stronger. He's back. The Tamers looked towards the distance and saw the Demon Lord slowly approaching.
There he is.
Think we should have our Digimon Digivolve?
No, not yet. He's our friend. Let's try talking some sense into him.
Takato and Henry didn't want to fight him, but even the Gogglehead wasn't so sure they could avoid it. It wasn't long before Beelzemon closed the gap, and he noticed that half the group was missing.
What happened? Got tired of your pals and ditched them?
Beelzemon, we don't want to fight. We came all the way to take you and Calamon home. Please, just come back with us.
Henry quickly chimed in as well.
That's right. Jeri told us about the struggles you've been going through. You don't have to go through it all alone. Let us help you.
The partner Digimon pitched in also. If there is a way to help a friend, they were all willing to try. Beelzemon heard it all, held his head down, but started inching closer. Each eerie step felt more chilling than the last, and the uneasy feeling in our heroes grew into full-on terror. Before taking that last step, the Mega Digimon brandished both shotguns in the Digimon's faces.
I didn't come here for your disgusting sympathy. I came for a fight, and the one I want isn't here right now, so you'll have to do. So I suggest you get the Digivolver so we can get the show on the road.
Beelzemon, please! We don't have to do this! You don't have to prove how strong you are!
These words just made him even more irritated. That is, until he saw Susie cowering behind Latmon. Without a thought, he changed one of his targets to the newest tamer.
Should we ask what Pint Size over here thinks? Don't you dare lay a finger on her! Terriermon!
In a flash, Terriermon Matrix Digivolved to Rapidmon and blew away Beelzemon with one of his missiles. That obviously didn't do much damage, but it was just to make some space between the two.
Takato! Have Diamon Digivolve now!
Without arguing, he did just that. With Groundmon and Rapidmon armed and ready, Beelzemon emerged from the rubble unscathed.
Alright, boys. Let's get this warm-up started.
Back with Rika's group, they were roaming aimlessly as well since none of the Digimon had a keen sense of smell like Guilliman. However, Jeri got a bad feeling when a passing digital stream crossed their path.
Jeri, what's wrong?
I don't know, but I get the feeling that Takato and the others are in trouble.
That feeling was confirmed when she and the rest of the group heard Takato and Henry scream out their partner's names.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
She and Renamon were the first to enter the stream, followed by the others. But when they arrived at their destination, it wasn't a sight they welcomed. It was Beelzemon standing triumphantly over a severely injured Guilliman and Terriermon. It took all the energy the two rookies had just to stay on 2 feet, and they were even failing to do that.
Takato! Henry!
Jeri, followed by the others, ran over to them, but they were equally as warm from the fight.
Well, well, well. I see the rest of you punks decided to show up.
Beelzemon taunted and looked straight at Elecmon and Jeri. His cockiness then gave way to a more serious expression.
I've been waiting for this. You better not let me down.
Jeri, don't fight him. He's far stronger than anything we imagined. You can't win.
Jeri didn't listen. The young tamer stood tall with her D-power in one hand, walking towards the battlefield with the blue card in the other.
Digimodify! Matrix Digivolution activate!
Grappleomon was back and knew he had to use every ounce of his strength in this fight.
Jeri, are you okay?
She nodded, and on cue, her partner launched a blindingly fast kick at Beelzemon, only for it to be easily caught by the demon.
This won't be like last time, furball.
Beelzemon responded before tossing the cyborg lion into a nearby rock formation. He then took aim at said rock formation with both shotguns.
Double impact!
After a loud bang, the formation was obliterated, seemingly with Grappleomon. Fortunately, the lion excels in speed and was able to narrowly escape the attack. All Jeri could do was witness everything unfold in front of her. Her partner, who's been with her through everything. A friend who's struggling with who he is. Both of them in an all-out battle. And for what? She thought she knew. But seeing Grappleomon fight for his life like this, and losing, the resolve she had soon became overcome by doubt, and this doubt transferred itself into her partner, vastly weakening him.
Pathetic. I thought you were better than this.
Beelzemon spat before unleashing a devastating darting claw on Grappleomon, who was too weak to block it. It didn't go through him, but the attack was strong enough to knock him down to his rookie form. She cried out for her critically injured partner until his pain became her own. The shock of it all prevented her from even shrieking out in pain. Before she knew it, all Jeri saw was darkness. In that darkness, time seemed to be irrelevant. She didn't know how long or how short she was in it. She opened her eyes, and in front of her was Elecmon. It was just the two of them. Jeri tried to move closer to her partner, but she couldn't move her legs at all.
Elecmon?
Jeri.
Why can't I move? Where is everybody? What happened with Beelzemon?
Jeri, listen to me. Beelzemon shouldn't be your concern right now.
What are you talking about? He needs our help. We have to go.
Take a look at your legs, Jeri.
What are you talking about?
Jeri did just that and saw that her legs were shackled in an endless void.
What is this? Get me out of here so we can help the others.
There's nothing I can do. This is something only you can do, Jeri.
I don't understand.
Those shackles represent all of the burdens you've been carrying in your life. Your biggest strength is your compassion, but that is also your greatest weakness. You work so hard to help others that you never think of yourself. And because of that, you doubt yourself. Listen to me, Jeri. You and I are a team, along with everybody else. You don't need to do everything alone. You don't need to save Impmon alone. Call on your friends. Call on me!
The red Digimon's voice echoed in the void. Jeri looked into her partner's eyes and immediately thought of her family once more. Like he said, she's been taking on so many burdens because she thinks it'll help others, but at what cost to herself? She's not alone in the world and doesn't have to take on these challenges alone. She has a family. She has friends. She has Elecmon, the one she trusts in the most. With a deep breath, Jeri looked out to Elecmon and gave a warm smile.
Thank you, Elecmon, for everything. Now, what do you say? Let's save Beelzemon together.
You got it.
Light engulfed the chains around Jeri's feet, releasing her and Impmon back to the battlefield. The Tamer stood up and looked straight at her partner, her D-power shining brighter than ever before.
Come on, partner.
Biomerge Digivolution.
Biomerge, activate!
Elecmon, Biomerge to Leopardmon!
And that's where our story will end for today. This part was longer than usual, but it had to have been worth it to see Leopardmon. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Leomon, but I thought it would be cool to see another Royal Knight, especially one that isn't all that talked about. Next time, Leopardmon and Beelzemon could duke it out to the fullest. What do you think of today's part? How do you feel about Beelzemon's actions this time, and where do you see his story going? How do you think the others will get their own Mega Digimon with these new changes? Let me know your theories in the comments below, and leave suggestions for more Digimon what-ifs you'd like to see come to life in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!